vor so 1,5 Minuten hat's Telefon geklingelt und dran war die Mia von Crucified Barbara. Hi Mia, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Hello.
Hello there. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
So, great. I guess you got a lot of things to do because you're doing a lot of promotional interviews for your upcoming album, The Midnight Chase.
Yes.
And, let's start talking a little bit about the upcoming album. When I prepared for this interview, I tried to find some interviews with Crucified Barbara, and I found one done on the Wacken Open Air 2010, where you said, well, there's a new album coming up early spring. So this was early spring 2011. So, it's a little bit later now. So, why did you take some more time to finish or to prepare the album?
I don't know. I hope I didn't say that. It must be some of the other girls who was drunk.
I'm not quite sure. There were certain interviews where you announced an album coming up in 2011.
I think that was our plan. You know, you always want to release an album as fast as possible. But I think we tried to work on we worked all the way, and things takes time, you know. So I think we've been playing a lot and writing, and we also work in between, so everything always takes longer than expected. So at least we're done now.
Okay, so then we're really looking forward to your third album, and album number 3 sometimes is referred to the Make It or Break It album. So did this put some special pressure on you so that you have to release the best album you've ever done, or were you pretty relaxed in preparing and writing songs?
In that way of thinking, we never been like stressed, because for the first album that's really important, and then everybody said the same about the second album, like that's the break, or you know, if it's not good, you're gonna disappear. So and now they say the same about the third album. So I think if you make a bad album, you won't be like it will be bad. No, we were not stressed about it, and we felt like we had really good songs this time, so it just felt good all the way.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the creation, the writing of the new songs. So the last album was released in 2009. So when did you start, writing songs, or did you write songs all the time, or collect ideas, or did you especially get together and say, okay, let's now write new songs for the new album?
We've been going together for like various times, different periods, but for 2 years we've been like collecting ideas and, you know, just recording at home in my studio, in my computer, and gathering ideas and lyrics. And then the last year I think we really started to work really, you know, when you really have a deadline like this. Now the studio is booked and then you get fire in the ass just to start writing. So. And I think during the last 3 months we got really, really focused, and instead of just, sometimes you can just be very stressed in a bad way when you have it too much, but something happened maybe also in the last month we wrote some really good songs on the album, so it was really cool to feel that it's working like that.
So you got quite some routine since this is the third album, and the band has been together since 1998. Well, you joined a couple of years later, but anyway, it's almost 10 years since you joined the band, and it is the third album. So was there something where you said, well, let's try to do this in a different way, or was there just the way? Was it just the way you also wrote and recorded the 2 previous albums?
I think we learned something from every recording. You know, you get better in songwriting, and you get better on pre-production, how to prepare the songs before going into the studio. So it's getting easier, you know, to work. So, I mean, the first album was really, you know, we had no idea what happened in the studio. We just went there, and like, here's a cassette band with our rehearsal. They sounded like, and the producer was like, okay, is this the song? So it was really different from the first album till now. I mean, now we feel more professional, and we know more how we want it.
So what do we have to expect then from the album concerning, well, the general sound? Because, between album number 1, In Distortion We Trust, and album number 2, Till Death Do Us Party, there was quite, well, not really a change, but a development. Well, album number 2 was, let's just call it a little bit heavier, a little bit darker. So did you also try to continue in that direction, or, what do we have to expect from this one?
We don't have a plan like, we're going to write this kind of album. So we also always write songs that we have an idea, and then let's see how the song turns out. So I think the songs are quite different from each other on the album, like on the other albums too. But I think the sound is better on this album because this time we really only worked with our own amps and drums, and we wanted a more natural sound. For example, for the drums, we don't want any triggers or like the modern style. We want more like basic rough rock metal that mostly like we sound live, no fake or extras. Mm-hmm. So, and I think it turned out really good, like a bit more organic than the last album.
So you mentioned sound is quite important for you. So did you have other songs when you decided, well, we would like to have this and that sound, or did you first come up with some ideas about the sound and then you wrote songs with this sound? What was first, sound or song?
I think songs, but also for example, we just got the last years now we started to play Mesa Boogie amps that really changed my guitar playing from like being just playing guitar till I love playing guitar again. It's like when I started to play when I was a kid, now when I have this amp, it's like so much more fun. And I think that if you have a really good sound on the guitar and the amps that you really like, it's music writes itself in a way. So with our gear we have now, it's much easier to write. We have that sound that we don't want to change from that.
So that's always a good thing, I guess, when a band comes to that point where they say, okay, now we got the sound that we want. In an older interview, I guess it was about album number 2, someone, I don't know if it was you or someone else, mentioned that in the songwriting process, usually one member of the band comes up with a song and then you, work it out a little bit, but usually it's one person that comes up with a song. So was it the same with this album, or was it more a band effort, so that you also were playing together, jamming together, and then writing songs together?
Actually, the cool thing is that we've been working in every possible way on this album. I think some songs are straightly from the rehearsal room, like we've just started to play on one riff and like, wow, that's cool, and I started to sing, and then we should try this, and then all of a sudden you have a song like in one rehearsal. It's really, really cool when that happens, and it's good. Like, for example, I can't remember which one it was, but that happened on the album. And then we have for example, me, I've been writing at home like a whole song, and then we just arrange it together. And some songs, for example, Clara and Nikki, who plays the drums, she's really good at coming up with vocal ideas, for example, that I wouldn't think of. So that makes the songs, like the melodies, very like sometimes if one person writes all the vocal melodies, for example, it can sound a bit the same all the time. But I think with the input from everybody, it gets more interesting.
Now, you did a video for one of the songs from the new album. You did a video to Into the Fire. And so was it hard for you to pick one song or was it, obvious, okay, that's the song we are going to do a video to. So how did you pick that?
At first, it was hard to decide in the beginning. We were starting to think about it because there are so many songs on this album that we really like. And so it was a delicate question to deal with. But then we felt like this song is quite fast and it's rock and roll. It's a bit different from what we used to do. I think it's a bit more energetic style and really like it. And the lyric is about, just go for it and don't let anyone hold you back and just give 100%. So straight into the fire. I think it was a good introduction for the new new Crucified Barbara.
Okay, so I suggest we just listen to this track so that we get an acoustic idea of the upcoming album, The Midnight Chase. So it's 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and then we'll be back with Mia talking about Crucified Barbara. Now here's from the brand new album, Into the Fire.
Was, Sie hören Fips?
Es ist gut, wenn du weißt, was du willst.
Fips. Und das Radio lebt.
Into the Fire von Crucified Barbara vom neuen Album The Midnight Chase. And on the telephone, hopefully there still is Mia, the singer and guitar player from Crucified Barbara. Are you still with us, Mia?
Yes, I'm here for you.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about you and the band. And I think one thing that really makes Crucified Barbara unique is your singing style, because, well, with female vocals, most of the time you either have this, let's call it the Nightwish kind of vocals, or the really extreme vocals like Arch Enemy, Holy Moses, or stuff like that. And well, you were somewhere, well, let's just call it in between. So it's some rough rock and roll vocals, but you were not the original Crucified Barbara singer. So my question is, how did you come to sing? Because, well, the original singer left the band, and then you overtook. So have you tried some singing before, or did you just say, okay, I'll just give it a try, and then it sounded good?
Well, it didn't sound good in the beginning, but I mean, I always been like singing. But when I was in school, like young, I sang like choir and stuff, and it was like totally different. And when I started playing the band, I was the guitar player only, and I started to sing backing vocals because I could keep the tone and and had some ideas. And I've always been interested in singing, but I never tried this for real. But then when the singer wasn't with us anymore, we had to find a new one, and we tried one or two, and it was really hard because we were on the way, but hard to find a new person to put in the band. So I said, I can try. And I did, and it was really hard in the beginning because I never sang like that before. And I was like screaming and screaming and screaming. And because I had an idea of how I wanted to sound, but it was hard because I didn't have the technique from the beginning. And then I just been playing and touring, and it makes the voice rougher, and I think I got better during time, So
especially you did so. Did you also try to do some vocal lessons, or was it more learning by doing, or self-teaching?
First, it was learning by doing totally for a couple of years. Then, when we were going on our first long tour, I think it was. It was in 2006 before we had a 5-week tour all of a sudden, and we had only been like playing for weekends before, so I was really scared that I would have to go home after 1 week because my voice was broken. Because normally my voice broke down after 1 weekend because I party too much and scream too hard and don't have any technique. So I went to a singing coach, but I didn't really sing. I just learned how to use the stomach and do warm-up exercises. I took like maybe 4 or 5 technique lessons, and just to how to warm up before the gig, and that was the only thing I needed. Now I know. And if I wake up with a broken voice in the morning, as long as I'm not having a cold, I have to go to the doctor. I know how to fix it, so I don't need any pills or, I don't stress up, because the stress is the worst for the voice. If you're stressed, you can't relax, you can't sing well. So I just do my exercises, and then it's fine.
But you're not just the singer, you also play guitar, and this of course puts double pressure on you. So, and you also mentioned a couple of minutes ago that you somehow rediscovered playing the guitar. So did you also sometimes think about quitting playing the guitar and just be a singer?
I had my ups and downs, really, because at one point it was really hard to sing, because I felt like I can't give all of my voice and myself because I'm stuck with the guitar, so I can't really use my body the way I want if I should sing really, really well. And also with the guitar, it's not like first priority. I'm the lead guitar player, so I should really practice a lot and but I can't really focus on everything. So I just at once I felt like, I suck that guitar. I will get in a new guitar player, but in the end I don't want that. I mean, I want to play guitar as well. So, and it was just, you can't be like 100% of positive thinking for 12 years, in a band. So now I feel more relaxed on stage than ever before, and I think that I can sing. I learned how to sing together with the guitar and play. So I came to grow into my guitar and learn how to, so we can work as one instead of like two-piece.
Now, the modern media are quite important for all bands. So do you sometimes read comments on YouTube videos about you and the band, or do you completely ignore that?
Sometimes I read, but I mean, I'm really sensitive. So even if with reviews and stuff, I don't read too much because it makes me feel bad for like no reason. If someone hates me or hates a band or don't like something, it won't help us. It only makes me feel bad. So if it's not like constructive criticism, I don't really. I try to. I'm not really interested in reading it because.
Okay. One thing I was talking about, as I said, I did some research and I was looking for interviews many of course of the comments are about how good looking you are and how hot and sexy the girls are there, and do you sometimes think, I wish they talked more about the music and less about the looks?
Yeah, I mean, you always think that. I mean, we play in a band, that's our focus, and it's also always nice if someone like the way you look, but we try to not like care too much about it, because if you we have so many like fans that really like what we do because we do what we do, that we write good music, and I think it's just a part of it. I mean, I think for many bands, like guy bands, if they're good looking, people are gonna think that about them too, I guess. Maybe it's more boys listening to, like, I don't know.
Okay, so do you, for girls, for women, also spend a lot of time together apart from the band, or do you sometimes also try to, stay a little bit away from each other so that you maybe do not spend too much time with each other, because, some bands, if they are too long together, then even best friends can get on each other's nerves. So how is it with you?
I think, after a long tour, for example, maybe we don't see each other directly after, but or we do actually. Somebody just said that they have to go out and drink beer and just enjoy ourselves. We're really good friends, everybody, and we spend a lot of time together. We go out when we're home, and we like to hang out. And we have something that we can't really share with our other friends. They don't really. There's no one else you can really talk about how it feels to be in a band and being on tour, to complain about things that you shouldn't. It's a really special connection we have. So we spend a lot of time together all the time, and dinners, and
So, I don't know if you have spent some thoughts about this, but, maybe one day someone might leave the band and you might need a replacement. So, would you want to stay an all-female band under any circumstances, or could you also imagine then, having, a male drummer or a bass player, or whoever might leave the band? Or do you think Crucified Barbara should stay an all-girl, all-female band?
I think that for this band, if that terrible thought would be true, I think it's I think we should stay an all-female band. Like I don't care about if I'm a mixed band with boys or girls, but for Crucified Barbara, it feels like we are this. I can't even imagine Crucified Barbara with someone else, really. So I think we prefer to stay exactly the way we are now.
Okay, so I hope you stay together for many, many, many years. There was one thing I really tried to find this out by myself, and I really did some Googling and some research, but I didn't find it. So I have to ask you about the band name. What is behind the band name Crucified Barbara? Who is Barbara and why is she crucified? Because I read this a couple of times on the internet, people asking this, and I didn't find an answer.
Okay, I think it's strange because we always get the question. But the history about the band name was even before I joined the band, like in '98. And some of the girls was at the Roskilde Festival in Denmark, and they saw a guy carrying a big wood cross with this blow-up dolls that you can do things with.
I know what you mean, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, they called Barbara in Sweden.
Okay.
So that was the Crucified Barbara. And the girls said like, "Oh, we're gonna write a song about that," because they had another band at the time, and they went home, and then in the end was like, "No, let's call the band Crucified Barbara instead." And there was a meaning behind the name from the beginning. You know, they had thought a lot about it, why, and but now they don't remember. So we say it's just a name from that Crucified Barbara at Roskilde Festival.
Okay. So hopefully no one ever has to ask you this question. I guess, and I was sure you have been asked this question for thousands of times, but I really didn't find it. Maybe in a lot of oral interviews.
That's what you want.
Okay. So I have to look at the clock. Do you have some more interviews today to do, or?
No.
Can you call it a day then? Okay. So, what I always, at the end of the interview, ask my interview guests is to help me a little bit with picking songs for my show. This is a metal show, and we play not just metal, we play hard music, we play hard rock, we play thrash metal, grindcore, death metal, but also sometimes some gothic stuff with industrial influence and whatever. So, imagine just you turned on the radio and listen to a show like this, and now you can pick 3 songs that you would enjoy listening to. It can be old stuff, new stuff, hard, soft, whatever. It just should not be something from your own band. What would you like to hear?
Wow. Okay, the first would be Shake My Brain with Alice in Chains. And then I want to hear some Riding with the Devil with Skew Siskey. And the last one. Something that I never heard on the radio. Can I say anything?
Anything. I don't know if I have it all, if I can play it today, but I'll at least try to then play it next week. You can pick anything you like.
I would like to hear World Demise with Obituary.
Obituary is one of my favorite death metal bands, by the way. What was the name of the song like?
World Demise.
Okay.
World Demise.
World Demise. I guess I even played this once, but I know that I get all the obituary difficult band obituary albums. Hey, great pick. And finally, I would like you to pick one more song from the upcoming album, because I would like to play one more. Which one would you like to have from your upcoming album?
Okay. Then I should suggest. We go for. Why don't play the Midnight Chase?
Midnight Chase. Here it is.
Yeah, the title from.
Track number 9. So I'll just put this one into the player, and you please stay in line while the song is running, and we'll just say goodbye here. And I thank you very much for the time you spent with us. I wish you all the best for your future. Much success with everything you do with Crucified Barbara, and of course with the upcoming album, The Midnight Chase. And then we'll just have the title track. Thank you, Mia, and I'm looking forward to hearing something from you again.
Vielen Dank.